If you're building a new kitchen or you're remodeling your existing kitchen, the stove becomes a centerpiece of your kitchen and everything else gets built around that. These days, many people actually prefer hobs. For obvious reasons, it looks a lot more seamless and integrated in your kitchen. But a hob may not always be the right answer for your use case. There is also the option of the humble cooktop. And you also do not always need a 4-burner or a 5-burner. It depends on how much you are able to multitask when you are cooking. So in this video, I'll try to walk you through the process of how to select the right hob or a cooktop for your requirements. So let's get started. So do you need a hob or a cooktop? So like I mentioned earlier, the hob is not always the right answer for everyone. Sometimes a cooktop might be a better option. The biggest benefit of the hob is that it gives your kitchen a seamless and an integrated look. It is difficult to clean and maintain a hob compared to a cooktop. There are a number of reasons to go for a cooktop. 1. It does not require any masonry to install the cooktop. 2. You do get cooktops in a lot of good designs as well these days, comparable to hobs. It's just that it is mounted on your countertop and not integrated into your countertop. And 3rd, it is a lot easier to clean and maintain. So you can remove pretty much all the parts of the cooktop. You can remove the burners, the rings. You can clean under the cooktop, which is not possible in the hob. The 4th is that you have a lot more flexibility in terms of where you want to place the cooktop compared to a hob where it is always fixed to the same position. And the 5th is that it is a lot less expensive compared to a hob as well. And not just from the price of the cooktop, but the price of installation as well. I have previously used a cooktop for 10 plus years. I used a Faber cooktop, and only recently I moved to a CAF integrated hob when I was remodeling my kitchen. Why? I'll cover some of those in today's video as well. Let's talk about some of the other parameters which are applicable to both cooktops as well as hobs. The first is what type of burner you need to buy. Burners in general are available in 2 types. 1, the Indian burner, which could be made with aluminium or brass. And secondly is the European burner, or also called the Italian burner in some cases. The Italian burners comes with a single flame compared to the double or triple ring flames that come with the Indian burners. And therefore the cooking time is a lot longer. So if you prefer to slow cook your food and would like to cook without spillages, where you need to boil your dishes for a longer period of time, then in that case an Italian burner may be a good option for you. But most Indian households do prefer the Indian burner, typically made of brass, because it is more efficient and the cooking time is drastically reduced. I earlier used an Italian burner from Faber and only recently moved to an Indian burner from CAF, and I do see a tangible difference in the cooking time. But I also do see a lot more spillages, especially of tea and coffee, because you need to keep a constant eye on the food and the cooking time is so fast. I am okay with both the Italian and the Indian burner, but my mom was extremely unhappy with the Italian burner. The other thing you need to decide is brass or aluminium burners. Brass burners have a higher durability and efficiency compared to aluminium burners. How many burners do you need? I think that that's completely a personal preference and how good you are at multitasking when you are cooking. Earlier I used a 4-burner and I realized that I rarely used the 4th one, which was the largest size, and only recently I decided to move to a 3-burner, which I felt was enough for my use case. But if you are extremely good at multitasking, go ahead and purchase a 4 or 5 burner as well. The next thing is how to determine what flame size you need for your burners. Now this is an important parameter, but it is not always published by vendors or manufacturers. Not all the burners will obviously be of the same size. You will get various configurations like 2 small burners, 1 medium burner, 1 large burner, or 2 large burners and 2 small burners, and so on. Now you need to decide the size of the flame based on your cooking patterns. So if you cook in smaller quantities, in smaller vessels, then you should prefer to get more number of smaller flame sizes. If you cook predominantly in large quantities, in large vessels with a heavy bottom pan like cast iron, you probably need a larger burner. The output heat can vary from 1 kilowatt to 4 kilowatt for the larger burners, but this is not often published by the vendors. So you will have to make a judgment call based on the visual size of the burners itself. Higher the diameter, the larger the flame. The burners also come with 1, 2 or 3 flame rings. The larger ones can have larger number of flame rings for higher heat output. So what size should you buy? So both cooktops and hobs come in a squarish design or a rectangular design. Now the squarish design ones are generally 60 centimeters and the rectangular design ones can be higher than 60 centimeters all the way up to 90 centimeters. One thing to note is that you will need to match your kitchen chimney size to be equal or higher than the hob or your cooktop size. So if you are buying a 60 centimeter hob, then you need a kitchen chimney that is at least 60 centimeters. If you're buying a hob that has a width of 70 centimeters or 90 centimeters, you need a kitchen chimney of 90 centimeters at a minimum because kitchen chimneys come with only two sizes, 60 or 90 centimeters. So what type of ignition? So ignition comes in three types: manual, battery operated or electrical. So most hobs come with a battery operated or electrical. Yes, there are a few outliers that do come with a manual ignition as well. Cooktops can come in mostly battery operated or manual. So if you live in an area where there are frequent power fluctuations, you might want to go with a manual or a battery operated one. The second thing to note, so if you're going for an electrical one, you need to make sure that you have an electrical point near your hob as well. The other thing is the position of the controls. So the position of controls come in the front or on the side. So some people prefer the controls to be on the side if they have small children at home. What type of finish should you go for? So both cooktops or hobs come with either a stainless steel finish or a tempered glass finish, mostly in black, but I've seen that these days some of them are coming in colored finishes as well. So what you pick depends on your personal preference and the style of your kitchen as well. One thing to make sure is if you pick up the tempered glass one, you cannot keep hot vessels on top of the glass, which could cause breakages. The last parameter is regarding safety. Some hobs these days come with a flame failure device or a flame failure detection. So what does that mean? If you've had spillages and the flame turns off, if you have a flame failure detection or a flame failure device in your hob, in that case the gas supply will be cut off from the hob. This is to make sure that there are no gas leakages that could potentially lead to some kind of mishaps. Well, that's it for how to select a hob or a cooktop. I hope this was useful. If you have questions, drop me a comment. In my next set of videos, I will use these parameters to recommend the best 3, 4, 5 burner kitchen hobs that you may want to purchase when you're remodeling your kitchen. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.